Welcome back to another MCLT R&R, and today we're doing the third season of Dexter. After the event of the second season, we are far from the ice truck killer and the Bay Harbor butcher, trying to make us believe that Dexter is back to this regular, normal donut guy. And we know now that Dex is ready to put the dark passenger back in action. So let's jump right in with an extended review of the first episode. Episode 1. We start this season with a brand new opening scene as Dexter is at the dentist. Then we fall back to him and his family life. Soon we are at the Miami Metro and the routine is on as Dexter is back with donuts. We get the usual cast of characters, Deborah, Batista, Masuka, LaGuardia, and the replacement of Dokes, we are introduced to Quinn. At first we have some dumb small talk about Deborah's new haircut.
I changed my hairstyle for the first time since I was 8.
Oh, yeah. Short? Or shorter.
And believe me, this is not the dumbest thing of this season. Batista is now promoted to sergeant as Dokes is no longer with him. We skip to Dexter doing research about his next victim, Fribo, a name we will hear way too much in this season. This dope dealer have another hobby than selling. Everything goes smoothly as he set up the kill room. We are then introduced to a new character, Yuki, an internal affair agent who just pops up to ask Deborah about this new agent, Quinn. Dex is now ready to do his dirty work and he finds Fribo and an unknown man fighting. Dexter is caught in the middle of it and must now face this man who's tried to kill him with a knife. Fribo got away and Dexter killed this man. He decided to destroy the kill room while thinking about the fact that he never killed anyone outside of the code. Who is he? Did he deserve it? Next scene we have Dex and Rita having intercourse for the second time in about 20 minutes. Then we have small talk about pudding and working hours. As Dexter is called to his crime scene, we finally put a name on his latest victim, Oscar Prado, the third Prado son. At the same time, we are introduced to the first Prado son, the assistant district attorney, ADA, Miguel, and the second son, Ramon, a police officer. The Miami Metro are doing their job to find this Fribo guy as we expose Miguel as a great, gentle guy who wants justice for every family in Miami. While Dexter is doing some research on Oscar, he's not convinced that he deserved it. Deborah's on the case and Quinn is trying to help her by giving the name of his criminal informant, Anton, another character introduced. Then Miguel calls him back to the crime scene to confront him about looking into his dead brother file in the police database. Dexter got away by playing this touch normal guy and Miguel invites him to the funeral. Deborah has some infos given by Anton about Oscar, saying that he wasn't all that clean. Dexter's at the wake trying to make some sense in his mind while Deborah is drinking for Harry's anniversary. Dex and Miguel keeps on talking and a relationship is starting to grow between them. For the third time, we got Dex and Rita having intercourse as is called to another crime scene. We are then introduced to the first victim of the Skinner as Dexter recognizes her from when he bought dope from Fribo, keeping it to himself. For the second time, we got this Yuki character asking Deborah some infos about Quinn, which she don't want to be part of. Finally, we got Dexter going back to Rita's as she's making pudding. Then she came to her senses and tell Dexter that she might be pregnant. This episode shows us how much Dexter stayed the same. They are introducing a bunch of characters: Quinn, Yuki, Miguel, Oscar, Ramon Prado, and Anton. 6 new characters in one episode. In about 2 minutes, they want us to ingest 3 brothers that we know nothing about as quick as possible, feeling a bit forced. They try to make them all relevant, but the reality is that we don't care about anyone except Miguel, which is going through the death of his younger brother. They shove everything up our mind and doesn't set up well as we have no idea what's going to happen in this season. Not that we must see where it's going, but a bit of clarity wouldn't hurt anyone. The one thing that's clear is that they didn't know how to introduce all those characters in a smooth way, comparing to the other 2 seasons. They are drowning us for no appearing reason, and they're telling us that Dexter is moving on from Harry. This episode leaves us with a big question mark, as it is taking place around a month or so after the Bay Harbor butcher case. And it's like it's never happened. We are starting anew, and it feels a bit wrong. This is the first episode and I won't go step by step for each one, but I thought it was important to understand where he is now, what changed or not in his surroundings, his motivation, to fully understand this season. If you didn't watch this season and my long resume of the first episode grab your attention, I suggest you to watch it, because here the spoiler alert, as I will go through the 11 other episodes of this season, exposing the twists and turns and what worked for me and what didn't. Review. During this season, I think the case of the Skinner is uninteresting, but Miguel Prado is somehow saving this season. We are now in a story that doesn't directly involve Dexter to his core, and it suffers from it. Dex feels untouchable and it makes him less interesting than Miguel at some points. Dexter is now thinking about the pros and cons of being a father. He's trying to frame Freebo for the Oscar murder, as he's trying to complete what he started with him. Then we got Miguel Prado storming into La Guerra's office and name-dropping the Bay Harbor butcher.
We will find him. This is a good team.
This is the same team, by the way, that shared a roof with the Bay Harbor butcher.
Oh yeah, that happened. Again, we got that Yuki that's back promising this and that to Deborah, who still doesn't want to get involved in any of this. Dex tries to find this Freebo as he's thinking about his upcoming baby, and start to see Harry as hallucinations. Wasn't he supposed to be over him? Guess not. Miguel invites Dexter to a dinner and a relationship is slowly established. Deborah's back to Anton for some infos.
You ever seen this woman?
Quinn sent you?
Oh yeah, this Quinn guy, he exists.
Different case.
Dex and Rita are now at the Prados and the couples are becoming friends in a heartbeat. Small talk about kids and fathers, then they talk about the case of Oscar's death, and Miguel thinks it's Freebo behind it, slowly telling him that they won't work hand in hand with the law enforcement to catch him. Batista and Quinn are now investigating close people of Freebo's past, and brings us to a new case, which we don't care about. Deborah's on the case of the Skinner victims, which brings her right back to Freebo. I told you his name would be overused and we're only at episode 2. We got the two remaining Prado brothers talking and showing us the excessive temper of Ramon, before talking about this Chicky Hines case, which we still don't care about. But it's showing us that Miguel is not that good at his job, as he convicted the wrong man. As Dex is ready to set up the second kill room for Freebo, Rita shows up at Dexter's and we have this confusing discussion.
Having this child is a huge mistake. I've weighed out all the pros and cons, and all I've got are cons.
I've been thinking the same thing.
I'm keeping it.
What? Sure, we cannot blame Rita for being pregnant and wanting to keep the baby, but I think it's a sign of bad writing. After Dex finally complete his ritual on Freebo, Miguel just shows up and catch Dexter after the fact, as he was here to end his life too. How did he find him?
I had the phone records.
Oh, yeah, in case we were wondering. So now Dexter lies to him and tell it was self-defense. Miguel believe him and they're now linked by this murder. Accidentally, Dex wipes some of Freebo's blood on his shirt and he thanks him for doing the dirty work. Miguel tries to stop the investigation about Freebo and invite Dex to dinner to, again, tighten their relationship. Deborah finds another Skinner victim and think it's Freebo's. But we know he's not the killer, as Dex killed him a day or two prior. Rita is desperately needing a friend and Miguel's wife is filling this role. And Dexter got no choice to keep on faking his relationship with Prado. Miguel is portrayed as a man of power, as he got free stuff all the time, and people keep on grading him. As Dex is ready to use the code on a registered offender, Miguel stops by and they start drinking as friends and again, small talk about fathers and how much they have in common. Finally talking about what brought them together, Freebo's murder. I'm already tired of saying Freebo. Dexter convinced Miguel to let go about giving Freebo to the police by telling him he buried him in a cemetery. We are then introduced to another new character, Ellen Wolf, Miguel's nemesis, as he convicted the wrong man. That cheeky Hines thing. To remove Freebo from the Skinner list of suspects, Dexter makes a fake missing person poster with Deborah's Jane Doe's ID. Afterwards, Quinn comes to the conclusion that the Skinner cannot be Freebo. Miguel wants to meet Dexter again, thanking him because he lead the Miami Metro away from Freebo, and decide to make a partnership in the eradication of the vermin. He gives his shirt with Freebo's blood on it, saying they're in this together and that Dexter can trust him. Dex finally tells Rita he wants to be the father of the child and announce it to Astor and Cody. LaGuardia makes a new friend, Ellen Wolf, and gives her what she needs to free the wrongly convicted Chicky Hines. We see this useless Yuki for the 4th time, and Deborah tells her to f*** off. Again, Dexter feels now that he must marry Rita and make his proposal. At the golf range, like great friends, Miguel tells Dexter about a man who always gets away with murder.
Seems Miguel and I understand each other better than either one of us knows. I could do us both a favor and look into this wife killer.
Then the couple's relationship is getting closer and closer by the minute and quickly call themselves friends. Dex is then after the man Miguel talked him about, and Prado suspects something.
Don't you see what happened today? I gave you the chance to avenge 2 women whom the system failed, and just like I hoped, you seized that opportunity.
It's not like that.
You don't have to lie to me.
From now on, we got some things happening that doesn't really make sense or bring anything to the story. Rita is bleeding for no reason and goes to the hospital, while Dexter is completing his ritual. Then we never spoke about it again, and Rita herself never have another incident like this for the rest of the season. They're trying to make us feel something about her pregnancy, but the reality is we don't care. It only sets up that Miguel is questioning Dexter on where he was. After answering half a truth to Miguel about this man he talked him about, they become like brothers. Dexter is now testing Miguel by planning their next victim. This guy, and think Prado will step back, but no, he's in. Again, we have another side story that's very boring and add nothing to the story, Camila's cancer. That's the woman we saw 4 or 5 times in season 1 and 2 with that key lime pie thing that takes so much time for nothing. We have then the 5th appearance of Yuki, and again Deborah's telling her to back off. It's annoying to see another poor side story leading to nothing. Only a waste of time as we want to see Dex and Miguel. They put their plan in action to kill this guy, then Dex think he might be played by Miguel, but they do it and Dex finally gives him his trust.
Hola, amigo. As soon as I can get out of here. You wait for me, huh?
Thanks for this.
That's what friends are for.
This Yuki thing finally somehow leads to something as Deborah talks to Quinn about it and creates a professional bond between them. Then Dex misleads Miguel to let him do his ritual.
Truth is, I'm not ready to share this part of me with anyone else just yet. I'm not sure I ever will be ready.
Dexter.
As Ramon is suspended, Miguel talks to Dex and we finally get to see a glimpse of his twisted mind.
I gotta blow off some steam. After work, you and me, we're gonna go hit something hard
We are.
at the driving range.
Golf. Right. Yeah, I'll meet you there.
At the golf range, Miguel talks about his nemesis, Ellen Wolf. We finally get to see another side of Miguel as he asks Dex to take care of her.
We need to go after the root cause. The one responsible for putting him on the streets. His blood-sucking, soulless defense attorney, Ellen Wolf!
She got her client off. Isn't that her job?
Chung wasn't the first evil that she put back on the streets. The body count is piling up!
Sixth appearance of Yuki, and we still doesn't care. Next, finally, Dexter killed Camilla, proving he can act outside of the code, but only revealed that Dexter have mercy. Also, we got the least convincing death scene. Miguel contacts Dexter to show him their potential next victim. Later on, Dex makes some research on him.
Is this the beginning of a whole new level of friendship?
Then they go to their next victim's house to prove he's guilty.
Blood.
How easy is this?
And they begin the ritual.
What do you suggest?
He teaches him step by step the code and set up the kill room together. Deb finds out a link between trim trees and the Skinner victims. Her and Quinn are now questioning Mario, a tree trimmer, who inevitably show is not the killer and is really afraid of Washington King, his boss.
Senor King will be very disappointed to hear you're calling him alive.
No!
What are you so afraid of, Mario?
Something back to Nicaragua.
Then they figure it might be him. Dex is not so sure to complete the ritual with Miguel as he accidentally exposed his dark passenger.
It's like wearing a f***ing straitjacket, man.
No, Miguel, it's just the opposite. If I didn't have the code, the darkness...
After convincing him, Miguel and Dexter are now ready to kill the newest victim. Then we got the scene that saved the entire season as Miguel killed as the code dictates, and they feel relief together. During the entire season, as Dexter told us he moved on from him, we still see Harry now and then. Afterwards, Dex finds out that Miguel didn't go home right after the latest victim, and Ellen is now missing the next morning.
Harry did raise me to be paranoid. Blood. Damn it. No, Miguel wouldn't do this. We agreed Ellen Wolf is innocent.
Hello.
I never taught him how to dispose. As far as Miguel knows, the best place to dispose of a body is beneath an open grave.
He then digs to see if Ellen was buried and finds her. After, he confronts Miguel about it and he don't even lie.
This is the nature of a real friendship. We're gonna disagree. Look, I'm a big boy. I know what I'm doing.
Quinn and Deborah find Anton, who was missing, and try to catch Washington King, who is now revealed to be the Skinner real identity. After Helen's death, Dexter suspects that Miguel might have lied to him and decide to look the blood on the shirt that he gave him in episode 3.
It's not Freebo's blood. It's not even human. It's bovine. Cow's blood. He's been using me the whole time.
9 holes tomorrow?
After finding that he lied, Dexter do what he does best. Lie. And plan to kill Miguel as he now fits the code. Miguel confronts Dexter one last time as Dex found Helen's ring in Prado's house.
That ring might show up someplace very inconvenient.
I am the last person you want with, because I will you back!
Now LaGuardia is investigating Helen's death, and she came across a witness that saw an SUV that night and quickly link it to Miguel. Miguel tries to lay low with LaGuardia as she's trying to find evidence in his car. After Dex's bachelor party, Miguel finds out that LaGuardia is investigating him, so he plans to kill her. At night, he decides to do it and falls right in Dexter's trap. Dexter is now ready to kill Miguel and reveal that he killed Oscar.
Dexter like a brother.
I killed my brother. I killed yours too. I didn't plan to, but it was kill or be killed.
Dex does it using the Skinner ammo to absolute himself, mislead the police, but most of all, so they don't open a new investigation. Then they're just closing every side story as quickly as possible. The Skinner, before Miguel's murder, he was hired by him to kill Dexter.
I could kill you now.
He don't succeed, and Dex kills him in less than what? 5 minutes. Then the cops arrive. Thank you, goodbye. After that, Dexter goes to his wedding like almost nothing happened, and just like that, the story of this season is closed. That easily. I obviously jumped some stuff, and thank God. But if you want the entire story, like some investigations that are not relevant, Quinn being good at his job, Wendell, Ramon the violent guy, borderline crazy, Deborah and Anton, Masuka being published, Albert Chung, Rita being upset all the time for nothing, but we forgive her cause, pregnancy, and Batista's girlfriend, Gianna. I suggest you, well, not that much, but I suggest you to watch it. It brings me around the bone. Final thoughts. The writing of the third season is so bad that we have nothing to hold on to. For example, Deborah's dialogue are so cliché. One of her character trait is her loudmouth, but this...
I got a steaming heap of crap all on this case. I've gone through every thumb-sucking ball sack of a pimp I know, every whacked-out hooker. You are my last-ditch effort.
Damn, you got a mouth on you, woman.
That's just dumb. But we also got some good police work on her side, showing us that she deserved to be detective. Dexter feels like a side character in his own story, as Miguel takes so much space, and every character have their fair part, but doesn't bring anything to the table. But there's not only downside. Batista's character evolve and his character development is interesting, but again, doesn't bring something that important. This season have almost no impact on Dexter's behavior and personal life. Yes, Rita's pregnant, but we won't have the repercussions until the next season. We got so much happening for nothing that I almost fell asleep at some times. The story between Miguel and Dexter is great, but nothing brings us to the edge of our seat. I can easily say that this season could have been 4 episodes shorter. There's a bunch of characters introduced, but most of them are not even used to their full potential. Yuki's useless, Ramon too. Some of them could have been introduced later on and nothing would have changed. Camila is supposed to make us feel sad, but it's only cringier every time we see her. Masuka is kind of erased, but we got this comic relief here and there. The most funny thing about him in this season is when Quinn is telling him that he is only comic relief. And then Masuka begins to be grey and loses all his character traits. With that said, it's funny to see him change clothes to be more serious every time we see him. Until he comes back to dirty talking Masuka.
That's science. And science is one cold-hearted with a 14-inch strap on.
Still, the writing is not good. I'm beginning to see a pattern in Dexter's stories. He always kills the person who finds out about his true nature. You might say, if I was a serial killer and somebody finds out what I'm doing, I will probably kill them too. But here the characters that see Dexter's dark passenger accept him for who he really is. Either way. Rudy, Lila, and now Miguel. I counted every time they say the name Freebo in this season and you won't believe how much they say it. They said his name 86 times in 12 episodes and half of it is in the 3 first episodes. That's way too much. I give Dexter Season 3 the note of 5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What are your thoughts? Did Miguel deserve what happened to him? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, it's always nice, and subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this one. Thank you for watching, it was Kevin MCLT, see you next time.